to give in to temptation, or do you rise above it? Anybody can answer.
At one point, I was easy to give in to temptation, but not now.
Okay, what changed you that made you where you're not so easy now?
When I seen where the situation was not changing. The situation was not changing at all, and I had to talk to myself, you better than this. You don't deserve this kind of treatment.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
I always learned, like dealing with relationships, if a person chooses to be in something, that's what they're going to be in. But reality, you don't have to be in that you don't want to be in.
Okay, but are you easy to give in to temptation or rise above it?
Yeah.
You're easy to
like step away from it and not be a part, like, you know.
Uh-huh. So kind of in between there.
Yeah.
How about you, Tanya?
It depends on what it is and how much it's pulling on, like, heartstrings for me.
Exactly. And that's kind of how I am, too. It just depends on what the situation is. And, again, you have to look at that situation for what it is. And a lot of times we try to cover up situations, and then we end up fighting with ourselves because we don't believe what we see. And we have to really start opening our eyes and really believe what you see. What people give you is who they are. If they ain't changed by now, they're not going to change no time soon until they're ready. That's one thing that we can take, too, is that we can't change people. We can only change how we respond to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how we respond to them, guess what it leads back to? Personality traits. Personality traits. What traits did you pick up from your mother or father? Anybody can answer.
I would say from my mother, a strong will.
Okay.
And from my father, just never giving up. And when I know that I'm right, to keep fighting.
Okay. How about you, Amanda?
I'm going to say from my daddy, because my daddy always, I took after him to, like, always go after what I want in life and don't never give up. And he always taught me how to go out there and get money. You got to do this like that, do it like that.
All right. Okay, that's real, though, because, hey, my daddy taught me how to hustle. We hustled peas and corn and stuff for years.
Yeah.
Majority of our life. So I learned how to take $1, spend $1, make $1, make more than $1. Yeah. So ain't nothing wrong with that. How about you, Cammie?
What was the question?
Lord have mercy.
What traits did you inherit from your parents?
From my daddy.
Name all of them. Just put some out there.
Okay, from my daddy, I learned the strong will part.
Okay.
And from my mama, I learned the word, no, you can have these, I learned not to say no to things, in which I need to start learning to say no.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got that one too, Cammie.
Yeah.
Okay. So how important is our personality traits when it comes with dealing with conflict? When it comes down to dealing with conflict, how important is it to know your personality traits?
I'm going to say it's very important because really when you're out there, you're representing your parents.
Mm-hmm. So do you act like your mama or your daddy when you get mad?
My mama.
Is that nice or off the chain.
Off the chain?
Well, I'll put it this way. My mama has a way of letting you know how she feels, and she does it in a nice, nasty way. If you piss her off, though, she can be real nasty. She don't play.
Okay. And Cammie?
I think about the same as Tanya.
Okay.
1 minute she's nice, and the next minute she flipping.
I know that's right.
Y'all mama gonna get y'all. That's what I'm gonna say. Y'all
yeah.
mama gonna get y'all.
And I would say I took after when I get angry. I'm like, I don't know, because both of them a piece of work. But I would say I probably take more after my mama when I get mad, because if she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it. So I take more after my mama on that, but my trait of determination is on my daddy's side. But it is so important to realize your type of personality trait, because this is why we respond to people how we respond to them. This is how we deal with our inner selves, by how our parents deal with their inner selves. Is that something that we really want to hold on to? Is it really good to hold on to it? Is it healthy for us to hold on to it? Or do we need to grow up out of some of those ways?
We need to grow up out of some of the ways, because it's like we live in their life and we're not living our own personality.
Exactly right. I found out one thing. The people back in the olden days, they swept a lot of stuff under the rug. And therefore, guess what? The baby boomers of the 1950s and the 60s and 70s, they came out of mess. Basically, they came up out of mess. And because of that, we had a lot of parents who had low self-esteem, low confidence, and they really just didn't understand what they were going through themselves, because back then all this stuff, technology and all these educational videos and stuff, they wasn't available to them like they are to us. So sometimes having those personalities are helpful, and sometimes it's harmful to us. Just like Cammie said, we got the same mama. So we have a habit of telling people yes, even when we want to say no. And that's not good. That's not good, because basically what we do is, here's another example right here. Here's another example of the inner conflict is, I would get up a group of people, and I say, y'all, come on, let's go to the restaurant. I'm paying for everybody to eat. Come on, let's go to the beach. I'm paying for everybody to go. I'm paying everybody's way, just as long as I got somebody down there with me hanging out with. Come on, y'all, let's take a bus load to the club. We're going to the club. We're going to party alcohol on me. In other words, I began to live a bigger life than what I really wanted. And when I would get back home after spending all that money, guess who would get beat up on?
You.
Exactly. I would beat up on myself, and I'd be like, why did I do that? When the whole time I was planning this, my conscience was saying, you better not do that. You got bills next week. You got bills that next week. You better not do that. But my other side of me was saying, girl, go on and party. Shoot, grab everybody. You know you ain't going to have a good time unless you got Bobo, Latricia, and Cammie, Kayola, everybody. You better grab everybody you can, girl. You only live once. Anybody ever been through that?
Yeah.
You live once, so you better go ahead and do it now. And that was the type of person I was. But when I came back home, I would beat up on myself. Wouldn't come out the house for about a week or two. Wouldn't come out for a week or two. Done spent my light bill money. Done spent my car payment money. And guess what? While I'm at home worried about how I'm going to pay bills, everybody else was out doing what? Their own thing. And did not even invite Jamie.
Yep.
All right.
Right, Jamie. So that made me feel even worse, because that was an external conflict just slapping me in the face right there, saying, well, we just got out with you, you know, because you said it was free. That's why we were there, not because of who you really are, not because we family or anything, but you said it was free. What did you expect us to do? You think we're going to turn down some free stuff? Okay, so that was an internal conflict right there that really just took me to to new levels. And y'all, to be honest, I did this for over 20, probably, let me see, I started doing it at 15, and I just stopped like 3 years ago. I stopped 3 years ago. So imagine, I've done this all my life. That's the only thing I had been used to. But I had to realize that the world is changing every day. People are changing every day. And some of the traits that we have inherited, we can't hang on to them because they're doing more harm than good to us. And so what we have to do is go back to that theory. Y'all remember the theory at the beginning when I said if a person lives if a person lives in an environment long enough, they will become a product of that environment. But we don't have to be like that. We don't have to be like that. We don't have to be the ones who have adapted to what people used to do back in the day. We have the right to change that. We have the right to know who we are, do what we please, and be able to have a clear conscience about it. Be able to have a clear conscience about what we're doing. So, this woman, her name is, it was her and her daughter-in-law back in the late 40s. They were amateur psychologists. Her name is Myers-Briggs. It's Myers and Briggs. Y'all can write that down. Myers and Briggs, because you're going to need this for your homework assignment. Myers and Briggs came up with something in the 40s. It was during the wartime, and back then, this is when women were finally getting their independence to get into the workforce. So in order for women to get into the workforce and get in the right positions, they needed to know their personality traits. And there are 5 main personality traits, 5 main ones. And there's a test that you can take. This is going to be your homework assignment. Let me see. There is a test that you can take. Y'all, I got stuff everywhere. There is a test that you can take that I want y'all to take. I want you to take it. It doesn't take long at all. I already took the test, and I can already tell you what I am. Hold up. I got to tell y'all the 5 different types. I'm trying to find them here. I had them written down. There are 5 different types. But knowing this, once you take this test, this is going to help you to see kind of why you respond to conflict or any other type of situations, the way you respond to it, because of those traits that have been downloaded into us over the years. Like Cammie said, we had the trait of couldn't say no. Amanda says she has the strong will trait and the get money trait, which I had that one too, Lord have mercy. I had to after that. Daddy? Yes. Okay. But those traits help to tell us who we are. And they are, let me pull my stuff up here, y'all. Let me see, I had to pull it up here on the internet. I want y'all to take this test as part of your homework assignment, but the part 1 of your homework assignment is going to be to look up and write down these definitions and study them. Study them before you take the test. Give me just a second here, y'all. I had all this pulled up and just moved everything at one time. Okay. Y'all can talk amongst yourself. I'm pulling this up.
Okay, you gonna post this up in the box?
Yes, I will. Yes.
Okay, so I can't take my notes now. I'm driving.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna post it up.
Okay then.
Okay. I cannot pronounce that big word. My God. Yes, I'm gonna post it in the box. Okay, so there are 5 personality traits. The first one is extroversion. Y'all, forgive me if I can't pronounce